Boy, hot fire. Sassy is important.
Mainstream.
Keep it real.
Got one of the biggest things in American culture.
They not like us.
Think everybody should go on the Breakfast Club. You want to shake it up.
They not like us. Wake the f*** up, Breakfast Club.
DJ Envy.
The Family Guy.
Jess Hilarious.
I'm the wild card. Keep the real.
And Charlamagne the God.
I'm a lovable ass.
Or you a clown.
Yo, I'm loving that energy up there right now.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show something.
Now let's begin.
Good morning, USA. Yo 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 yo.
Jess is on maternity leave. Lauren also filling in. What up, Lauren?
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump day.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all feel out there?
Good morning. Wednesday, middle of the week. Good morning.
That's right, man. I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Another day to serve our beautiful Breakfast Club listeners. What's happening out there?
Yes.
LL Cool Bay, how you feel?
I feel great.
Okay.
Feeling good. You know?
You all right?
Yeah, I feel great.
Okay, good.
Envy, how you feel?
I'm great, brother. How you feeling?
I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. I already told you that.
All right.
Happy
Blessed,
to be
black,
here.
and highly favored. I already
Yes.
told
That's
you
right.
that.
See what the day brings. Let's see what the day brings.
Mercedes Mone. She'll be joining us. She's a pro wrestler.
Formerly known as Sasha Banks.
That's right.
Used to be with the WWE, left the WWE, signed the biggest deal for a women's wrestler ever with AEW.
That's
Now
right.
she's the champion over there.
And she's black.
Yes.
She's black.
A lot of people like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll be here with us this morning.
Yeah, so
and it's
we
been like
can
a
do-
combat sports week this morning, huh? We had
Yes, so much sports.
Caleb Plant yesterday.
Caleb Plant yesterday, yeah.
And today, Mercedes Monet.
I wonder how much we could pay Mercedes Monet to F up Charlamagne one good time.
She told me she'd do a complimentary for me because she experienced what I be experiencing. So she was like, girl, I got you.
And then when I sue her, and I got all of y'all in court, and we got it on, tape that y'all convinced her to do it, how much money you think I'm going to get? Let's talk about that.
To do what?
To attack me.
We're talking tickle you.
Why would
Yeah.
you throw that
How
on
much you-
us?
how
Why
much-
would you
we
ever
didn't say
think that
attack
we
you.
would have
Everybody
someone
just heard y'all.
attack you?
We said,
Everybody just heard y'all.
we said tickle.
So what you think? How much you think I'll get from that?
We said tickle? We said tickle, sir.
No, okay.
All right, well, let's get the show cracking. Front page news. Morgan will be joining us. We'll kick it with her. I'm sure she'll tell us all that's going on. I think President Biden did he speak yesterday at the UN or is it today?
I try to avoid President Biden speaking. So when I hear those words, President Biden speaking, you know, I run. I go the other way. So I don't know.
I get it. I understand why. All right, well, we'll get into that when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all feeling this morning?
Good.
Amazing.
How you feeling?
You know, I'm making do. I'm making do.
Making do.
Halfway through the week, so you know we gonna make it do what it do. But let's get into it. So President Biden, he's telling world leaders some things are more important than staying in power. He made those comments while addressing the United Nations General Assembly yesterday on Tuesday, in what would be his final speech to the General Assembly. Let's hear those comments from Biden on deciding to step down.
I faced a decision whether to seek a second term as president. It was a difficult decision. Being president has been the honor of my life. There's so much more I want to get done. As much as I love the job, I love my country more. It's time for a new generation of leadership to take my nation forward. My fellow leaders, let us never forget, some things are more important than staying in power.
Yes, when you're 89 years old, sleep is one of those things. That's more important than staying in power.
At what point does he stop talking about that as like a focal point?
Probably never. I mean, because
There's nothing else to talk about? No, I don't know.
he's got 50 more days left, you know, and I mean, every time he's probably in front of a microphone, he's going to say something about it, and afterwards, because this is part of his legacy, especially if she wins. If the vice president wins, then this is absolutely part of President Biden's legacy.
Because he threw the alley-oop.
Well, yeah, he did the right thing.
Correct.
Stepped down, even though we know he got pushed out, rightfully so. But he stepped down and, you know, passed the baton. So
Biden went on to tell the UN that they must never forget who they represent, the people. The president also spoke about the rising tensions in the Middle East and how the world has reached an inflection point. Let's hear Biden's comments on what's happening in the Middle East.
We're also working to bring greater measure of peace and stability to the Middle East. The world must not flinch from the horrors of October 7th. Any country would have the right and responsibility to ensure that such an attack can never happen again. I put forward with Qatar and Egypt a ceasefire and hostage deal. It's been endorsed by the UN Security Council. Now is the time for the parties to finalize its terms. Bring the hostages home. Must also address the rise of violence against innocent Palestinians on the West Bank and set the conditions for a better future, including a two-state solution.
So Biden called for diplomatic solutions, adding full-scale war in the region is not in anybody's interest. This comes as Lebanese officials said more than 500 people, including children, were killed in Israeli attacks in the country on Monday. It's also as the U.S. continues, as the president mentioned, to try to broker a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. In a post on X, UN Chief Antonio Guterres said Lebanon is at the brink and the world cannot afford for the country to become another Gaza. Now, Israel and Hezbollah continue to trade fire days after the deadliest day in Lebanon in almost 2 decades following those attacks. Israel said it killed a commander of the Iran-backed Lebanese militant group in an airstrike in Beirut on Tuesday. So those tensions continue to rise, and I will continue to keep you posted on what's going on with that. Elsewhere in news, prison officials in Missouri say convicted murderer Marcellus Williams has been executed. Now, I know you guys have been seeing this on your timelines. If you've been scrolling as of yesterday, he was put to death by lethal injection Tuesday evening, shortly after the U.S. Supreme Court denied his request for a stay of execution, meaning that they would, postpone it or basically not kill the man. The 55-year-old Williams was found guilty in 1998 of the stabbing death of a newspaper reporter, Felicia Gale. Williams spent more than 2 decades on Missouri's death row and had proclaimed his innocence until the end. The prosecutor's office that convicted him and the victim's family were among those who opposed his execution. Now, in regards to this case, this man was found guilty. However, there wasn't any physical evidence in regards to that. So this is quite the situation that people are, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I really don't understand when people choose to respect DNA. Like if I read correctly, his DNA didn't match, the DNA found at the scene of the crime. So how did they even find him guilty? Like, shouldn't science say this clearly couldn't be this individual?
She said there was no physical evidence.
I think that's the DNA. She meant the DNA.
But nobody's seen him or anything like that as well, right?
I don't
know about that. I know the DNA is considered the physical.
Yeah, that's
evidence.
the main. Yeah, that was the main thing regarding, like you said, the DNA that evidence. So.
I just don't understand how when people choose to respect DNA tests, it's almost like they pick and choose. Like if his DNA didn't match, his DNA didn't match.
I think it was like something with I was trying to pull it up real quick, but the DNA was contaminated at some point because one of the prosecutors had went in and touched some evidence, once it was something like that. And that was. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying when those type of things happen, I mean, death row should probably be off the table. So, regarding that. But, yes, this is the justice system. So,
yeah, how can you make such a permanent decision with such, shaky evidence? Like, if anything, just keep give him a life sentence until he sort it out. But did kill him? Like, there's no coming back from that once you realize, oh, well, you know what? We was right. Oh, he was right. We made a mistake. Like, no, he's dead now.
It was they let a juror go because of race, and so his attorney filed that there was bias in jury selection and then the contamination of the murder weapon prior to the trial. And the victim's family was asking for him not to be killed.
Yeah.
Sending healing energy to his family, man. That's horrible.
Absolutely. All right. Well, in the next hour, we'll talk about, what's happening on the campaign trail with Vice President Harris and, of course, former President Donald Trump.
All right. Well, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
I'm dialing.
Hey, what you doing, man?
I'm dialing. Call you.
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, brother?
My name's Cliff, man, down here in Florida, man. Get ready for the hurricane.
What's up, brother?
What hurricane coming?
Yeah, it's gonna hit the Big Bend probably Thursday. So, but I'm down here in South Florida, man, Southwest Florida. So we're used to this thing, so we ain't really panicking right now.
Okay. What's happening?
I wanted to talk about that the Marcellus Willis case, man. In my opinion,
go ahead, brother.
When they say he stabbed 40 when he stabbed her 40 sometimes, it's like anybody can tell that's a crime of passion, and And if you look at it, that's why I always tell people to, you got to vote. But it matters what judges you have. When you have those judges in the Supreme Court, when they, I say back to courts because something like that, be in our favor, man. He had all the evidence for him, and they still ended up doing, doing what they did. So that's why I say you got to at least, you got to vote. You know what I mean? And then judges make a big difference, man. Because anybody looking at that case would have been like, if it wasn't a crime of passion relationship with it. So I think, in my opinion, I think it was somebody that was probably close to it. So
yeah, I get it, my brother.
Well, thank you, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for letting me talk, man. Y'all have a good morning.
All righty now.
But it's just interesting because they say the fingerprints, the bloody shoe print, hair, and other evidence at the crime didn't match Williams. And they said the DNA on the knife belonged to members of the prosecutor's office. So I guess that's what they say it was mishandled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering how the family feels following the execution.
Oh, horrible, I'm sure.
Hello, who's this?
You got Mack, man, from Springfield.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Mack from Springfield?
What up, man? I just want to shout out to myself for staying positive and in a good headspace. Because, sometimes it can be hard out here for a black brother.
I love that.
Also, I wanted a book from you, Charlamagne.
I got you, brother. I'm going to put you on hold. Eddie going to get your information, and we're going to send you a copy of my new book, Get Honest or Die Lying, Why Small Talk Sucks. I like that mentality, though. Wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to pat my own self on the back.
That's right.
Okay?
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's a new day.
This is your time to get it off your chest.
Wake up.
Whether you're mad or blessed.
It's time to get up and get something.
Call up now. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, Blind Beauty.
Hey, Blind Beauty. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlamagne there?
I am here, Blind Beauty. How are you?
Good morning. Good. Lauren's there as well?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. So, all right, boom. I was just watching the Casey Crew, right? And this topic was very interesting. So MD was talking about he walked into a hotel and found some panties, right?
Yes.
He got upset, showed it to Gia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about this, and I feel like because there's a negative connotation or a stereotype that men cheat, I feel like that's why all the women you ask would not believe you. However, people feel like women don't cheat that often. So I feel like a man would be more likely to believe his woman. Like, oh, they didn't clean up properly.
For people that don't know, I was in Vegas a week ago, and when I walked into my hotel room, I was talking to my wife on FaceTime, and I looked in the corner, and I noticed that there was a pink thong in the corner.
Boy, you lucky you was on that phone when you walked through the door.
That's what I said. I said if my wife was flying in a couple of hours later or the next day, and she walked in and seen that, there's no way in hell my wife, I could be like, well, how did that panty get there? And I can't say I don't know it. No, that wouldn't be a thing.
Well, Envy told me the story and he showed me the picture. I immediately thought the panties were Envy's.
He definitely told me that. That's what he said. He said, they're yours?
I believe that.
No, he did that.
I'm like, that's Envy panties.
But I was talking to my wife about that. I was like, yo, it's messed up because that could mess up people's relationships. And I told my wife, if she had flown in a couple of hours later and seen it, what would she think? And she would be like, oh, I would definitely think that was another girl and you was cheating. And I said, well, why? She was like, not that I don't trust you, not that I don't love you, but she was like, how do you explain that?
Mm-hmm.
Nasty ass freaking maids didn't do their job.
Didn't do their job. But, I went downstairs.
It's a negative connotation, though. If you, like you said to Gia, if I walked in and I saw Brief and she said, well, I would just say they didn't clean properly, they're nasty. I feel like you would believe her.
I would, but you know what I would do? I would actually go downstairs to the hotel, say somebody stole something in my room, and I would have them pull the camera just so I could see who's going in and out that room.
So you believe her, but not all the way.
I mean, because how can a maid not clean some underwear off the floor?
But why do men?
Because they're dirty.
Exactly. But why do men do that? If you don't believe her, just say you don't believe her. Why would you say you believe her, then go do all that on the back end? Like, what's wrong with you saying I don't believe you?
Because I had a history, she hasn't.
Oh yeah, you're right. You better not say that.
See, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Blonde Beauty.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Get it off your chest. But I tell Charlamagne because I was pissed off. Charlamagne like, how you know that didn't fall out your bag? How you know that's not your panties? I'm like, Jesus
I knew those were his.
You did, because you know his body. You know his size.
I mean, I just know him.
You can eye it.
I just know him. I know that he wasn't cheating. That's number one. And so the only logical thing after that is the fact that he wears panties himself.
I do not wear panties.
You didn't know Envy wear panties?
I do not wear. Do not listen to him.
You didn't know that, Lauren?
Shut up. Get it off your chest. It don't even go with him. 800-585-1051. We have Jess
You
with the
better
mess.
say they yours.
With Lauren LaRosa.
Listen, your wife putting pressure on you like that. They mine. They mine. If you're not gonna believe the truth,
no.
Which is I walked in and they were just in here.
Nope.
They mine then.
They mine.
They damn sure ain't no other woman.
Nope. We got Jess with the mess with Lauren LaRosa.
Yeah, we
Lawrence.
both yesterday and today, both of y'all have like thrown me off. Like yesterday it was, or the day before it was the hair thing with him. Today is you with panties. I don't know what tomorrow gonna bring, but
right.
we are talk about this. That's so crazy, Envy. Were they lace?
I don't know. The Victoria's Secret. I picked it up with a pen and looked at it.
Ew.
It's nasty.
Diddy. There's a new lawsuit with Diddy. I think it's like at this point every other day there's another one.
All right, well, we'll talk about that when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
News is real, whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies. She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide mess.
On The Breakfast Club.
She's the coach of shoes.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back. And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
So there's a new Diddy lawsuit. A woman is claiming that Diddy and a friend viciously raped her at a Bad Boy record studio in New York, and that all of the abuse was recorded on camera. Now, this woman, her name is Thalia Graves. She's suing Diddy, and she's claiming that she's had suicidal thoughts since all of this. And the second person that she's saying was involved in this was Diddy's head of security, allegedly a guy named Joseph Sherman. And she said that this happened back in 2001. Now, in her lawsuit, she claims she was 25 years old. She was dating one of Diddy's employees when he lured her into a meeting with him and Sherman, the security guard, alone. Then she claims that she was sequestered and given a drink, and the drink was likely laced with a drug that eventually caused her to briefly lose consciousness. Now, she's also claiming that she woke up to find herself bound and restrained, with Diddy and the security guard Sherman proceeding to brutally sexually abuse her and violate her, mercilessly raping her anally and vaginally. Now, she's also saying that following this, she thought about killing herself. She had to get extensive psychological treatment. And she's also saying that she never reported the incident out of fear of Diddy, and fear that, this could ruin her life because they threatened to do so if she ever spoke out. She had a press conference yesterday. She's being represented by Gloria Allred, and she talked a bit about what she's been experiencing since she claims that the situation went down.
The internal pain after being sexually assaulted has been incredibly deep and hard to put into words. It goes beyond just physical harm caused by and during the assault. It's a pain that reaches into your very core of who you are and leaving emotional scars that may never fully heal. Some of the hardest parts of this pain are the shame and the guilt I have experienced that plays a negative part in my day-to-day ability to function properly. Being blamed, questioned, and threatened has often made me feel worthless, isolated, and sometimes responsible for what happened to me.
Now, another part of this press conference, and we won't play all of the audio, or we can if you guys want to, but it's pretty lengthy. Another part of the press conference is where, they allow the actual media outlets that are there to ask questions. Mm-hmm. And two of the questions that I thought were interesting was one of the outlets asked about the time frame of this accuser finding out that the video existed. Mm-hmm. And she's claiming that not only does this video exist, but that it's actually been resold as pornography and other different things. So there was a 20-year time span between when this happened and when she found out about the video. But the interesting thing that this outlet brought up was the fact that 20-year time span of when she found out was around the time that a lot of Cassie's claims were happening. Mm-hmm. So they were trying to tie it into Cassie's case in the lawsuit that Cassie filed. Mm-hmm. What they were getting at was, is this woman a part of the criminal indictment that we are watching Diddy go through as well? And her attorney would not answer the question. And then she said we had no comment. And then they asked the second question that kind of lended into that. They asked if this new accuser had ever testified in front of the grand jury that indicted Diddy. And her attorney said we have no comment. And she said she would never comment on something that can be used as criminal evidence. I thought that was interesting because it's either saying directly she may be a part of this criminal indictment that we're watching, but it wasn't confirmed, or it's saying that they're not opposed to her being a part of it, and they may have evidence that should be used, and now this is a signal to prosecutors like, hey, come and talk to us because we have some things that may help you.
So she's saying it's a video with Diddy on it.
Yeah, she's saying there's a video of Diddy and the security guard brutally and viciously, allegedly raping her, and that she's performing various sexual acts, and that this video is being sent out to people, and they'd even found evidence that it had actually been sold as pornography. And this is the first time we've ever heard any of the women
so
who
they must
say
have evidence. If they said it was sold, that means they must have evidence that it was sold.
They had to, because it's the first time we hear any of the women claiming that.
Well, she's better off pursuing something criminal, because I'm actually shocked that the lawyers are doing it in the civil way, because they know ain't no money there. Like, Diddy not spending no money on civil suits when he got a criminal case.
But she's saying maybe they did it already. Maybe that was part of the indictment
we don't know if they have
to get him arrested.
Yeah, we don't know if they haven't. I thought it was interesting though, because
wouldn't we know that already though? Wouldn't that be in the indictment?
They're not telling
we don't
everything
know all
in
the
that
people in the
indictment.
indictment yet.
Oh.
You know what I mean? We still don't know.
I thought the videotapes they talked about having were videotapes they seized from.
We don't know everything that they have.
They had tapes. They said they had security footage, and they said they had phones. We have no idea.
Remember, they only giving us a little bit of information, and then when he tried to get the bail, it appealed the bail bonds, they came out with more information.
That's what I was saying. That's why I thought that those questions were interesting, and I thought the way that the attorney answered it was interesting as well too. So this is something that we'll have to follow. If it does go criminal, I mean, she'll just be an additional witness in whatever this indictment is.
Yeah, because after Kathy, no more civil suits gonna be settled. So you better off trying to get a criminal case open.
Well, if she wins,
that civil well is dry.
But if she wins the civil case, then
there's no more money though. Is what I'm saying.
He basically said
going to the criminal case.
broke.
There's no more money.
Well, did he? If she wins, did he have to sell some homes? Did he have to sell some?
All that's gonna go to the criminal case.
Well, listen. We gotta leave it up to a judge and a jury.
When will they unseal everything in the indictment? When will they have to say? Because there has to be a point where they have to tell the defense,
like, show more stuff,
everything that they have.
I'm not for sure if there's like an actual deadline for that, but that's the conversation they were having the second arraignment that Diddy lost. They were basically trying to figure out when is he going to go into trial. And remember, they said, well, give us some time because we have more people that have come forward to us, and we want to be able to go through all this evidence to submit stuff to discovery. So we're going to find out. I don't know, and I can't answer that.
Gotcha.
But moving on to something else, D.L. Hughley, we had reported about him coming out and slamming Janet Jackson for not knowing how to answer the question on whether Kamala Harris is black or not when she was asked by The Guardian. She actually said, oh, I thought Kamala Harris had a white dad. That's what I heard. So he sat down with TMZ. Shout out to Tawanda, my homegirl, interviewed him, and he actually doubled down on feeling like Janet Jackson did that on purpose. Let's take a listen.
For me particularly, I just had to make an apology to the vice president at the DNC because I too was trucking in misinformation. It's easily provable to determine whether her father is black or not. Right. You could Google it right now and find out. There's a reason you don't want to know, and there's a reason that information or finding something like that, you've never seen that in mainstream or even middle of the road news. You have to search the furthest reaches of the right wing internet to find that. It's the same place where they tell you Haitians eat dogs. It's the same place they tell you that Obama wasn't born here. It's the same place where all the scandals live and all these right wing conspiracy theories live. First one, it seems ironic that a woman who has had family members, now for a lot of people, they're questioning whether Kamala is black, but there are a lot of people who question whether the Jacksons want to be.
DL is completely wrong when he says you only find those things. What he said in the deep dark crevices
on the other side, the side that pushed that. Because I'm not on that side of Twitter, and it's all over my timeline.
That's on mainstream news. Like all of those conversations he named, the Haitians eating the dogs. What was the other thing he said? Obama's not being born here. Yeah. All of those things, sadly, have been centers of debate on cable news networks because these cable news networks, from Fox to MSNBC to CNN, they make these things the center of debates, which I always think is insane to me. I don't know why they make those things the center of debates, but they do. So you don't have to. That's not in the deep dark crevices of the internet.
I know, but the first time we covered this, we chalked it to like he's a comedian. It could have been a joke. It could have been whatever.
Yeah.
This time, the way he doubled down, he even mentions like remove comedy from the situation. He does believe that this was something that she did on purpose, Janet Jackson. I was so disappointed by that statement. And the reason why is because I feel like with D.L. Hughley, and I know he watches the show, people look at you as a talking head and a figure, which is why TMZ is sitting down and having a conversation. So if you feel like it's an issue to see a black woman push something that you think maliciously is happening, why would you be now a person that is pushing a narrative against Janet Jackson, a black woman, against a a potential black woman president. Like if you read that interview, she only brought it up because she was asked the question. You made a mistake. You were giving grace. Why can't she be giving grace? Like I was so disappointed to hear him double down on this. I didn't understand the point of why do that.
Yeah, I don't think Janet did that on purpose. I think she's just misinformed, like so many people are.
I just think she was misinformed.
And I think when you're misinformed, you have to correct people. And honestly, that's what I think people are missing in this whole conversation about Janet Jackson. The fact that misinformation can run so rampant that even somebody like Janet Jackson can be got by misinformation.
And
so how do you think so many other Americans feel?
And if her team hasn't tightened up on anything, they're gonna tighten up on politics this time around. It's a learning lesson. If y'all gave her spankings, now let her move on.
And if you ever been around Janet or ever seen Janet or ever seen or watch any documentary around Janet, she's in her own bubble. She's in her own world. She doesn't necessarily connect to the internet and connect to social media.
I get it.
Just not her
There's
thing.
a responsibility though when you are a person on a platform, which is why people ask the question. But she got her spanker and let her move on.
But this is not about Janet. This is about combating misinformation. So many people in our society, from political pundits to people on the news to just regular everyday people, are being bombarded with misinformation all the time.
Yes.
How do we combat that? Like, I don't know why we're making this just about
But from
Janet
reputable
Jackson.
sources as well. From reputable sources.
Yes.
Well, people that think are reputable sources.
But you know why people are making this about Janet? Because it stirs the pot in the conversation. Like y'all, we
That's
having
silly.
such a great conversation right now, and that's why. So we're gonna move on because we're not gonna be, some of the people harping on Janet.
We should talk about combating misinformation. That's what we should be talking about.
All right. Well, when we come back, we got front page news. Morgan Wood will be giving us some right information, and then we're going to be kicking it with pro wrestler Mercedes Mone. All right, don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy. Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess, and let's get back in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Morgan. Good morning, Morgan. Good morning, y'all. Let's get into it. Yeah, I'm thrown off too a little bit, but let's get into it. So authorities in Tempe, Arizona are investigating. They're saying that Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign office was shot at and damaged overnight. It was one of 18 field offices in Arizona. Police say no one was inside the campaign office when it happened, but authorities are concerned about safety, of course, surrounding the election and, the assassination attempts with Donald Trump, political violence mounting. So authorities are concerned. Now, this comes a week after the windows were shot out with a pellet or BB gun and just days ahead of her rally in the swing state. Now, former President Trump, he's talking about his plans for the economy in Savannah, Georgia. He made those comments on Tuesday. Trump told his supporters he wants to take other countries' jobs. Let's hear more from former President Trump in Savannah, Georgia.
We'll create millions and millions of jobs, massively raise wages for American workers, and make the United States into a manufacturing powerhouse like it used to be many years ago. 100% tariff on every single car coming across the Mexican border. We want American citizens, and we want their plants built here, not 2 feet over the border and selling them into our country. We're not doing that. We don't do that anymore.
We don't do that anymore. Trump also said he'll unlock the energy potential in the U.S. by allowing more drilling and fracking. Meanwhile, reports say Vice President Kamala Harris will talk about her economic plans during a visit in Pittsburgh today, this afternoon. So switching gears, but also staying on the topic of political violence, Ryan Ruth, who is the second assassination attemptee, he has officially been charged with attempted assassination of a major presidential candidate. CNN reports prosecutors filed the charges Tuesday afternoon. Ruth allegedly camped outside of Trump's West Palm Beach golf course for hours armed with a rifle earlier this month. On Monday, the Justice Department revealed a letter written by Ruth addressed to the world, which said, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you." Ruth also faces multiple gun-related charges regarding that incident. Also, surrounding those type of incidents, Congress is passing a bill to boost Secret Service protection for presidential candidates. Remember, we were talking about that, whether or not Trump should have the same level of security, Secret Service security as sitting president. Well, Congress is passing a bill to make sure that happens. The legislation passed unanimously on Tuesday and now heads to President Biden's desk. Will he sign it? The bill will give Donald Trump and Vice President Harris the same level of protection provided to Biden. Of course, this comes the same month as there was multiple attempts on Trump's life.
Yeah, I mean, in this particular climate, I feel like, they should have that level of protection, and not just now, moving forward, because for whatever reason, it feels like we're becoming so used to these attempts of political violence, like and not just the two attempts on, President Trump. Think about how you just breezed past the fact that Kamala Harris's campaign office in Arizona just got shot up. Like that shouldn't just be a normal headline for us, for America. So yeah, they all need that level of protection.
Speaking of level of protection, who going to protect the Haitians? Okay, a nonprofit is filing criminal charges against former President Donald Trump and Senator J.D. Vance, his VP running mate. First Amendment attorney Subodh Chandra said the charges may be warranted. Let's hear from the lawyer.
If a judge honestly and dispassionately reviews the facts and reads the law on disrupting public services, making false alarms, telecommunications harassment, then the court will issue arrest warrants. The charges are supported by probable cause that if you substituted your name or mine or anybody else's for Trump or Vance, charges would be brought.
So the charges stem from claims that both former President Trump and Senator Vance have made that Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio are eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs, eating the cats, eating the pets. So the charges, which include making false alarms and committing telecommunications harassment, were able to be filed due to an Ohio statute which allows private citizens to file criminal charges. City and county prosecutors are now reviewing the charges to determine if there is actual probable cause, and they can bring those charges to the former president and his VP running mate. What do you guys think? Is it that serious?
Why not?
Yes, I'm about to say it should always be.
Why not? Because think about how they put Haitian people's lives in danger. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just in that small town, but anywhere. Like, if people think that if they see Haitian migrants, and not just Haitian migrants, just Haitians in general, right? Like, yes, I'm sure, I don't want to say violence has increased against Haitians, but at least maybe threats of violence have increased against Haitians. And we do this with other communities, like, when it comes to anti-Semitism. So the same things apply here.
Absolutely. In fact, in Springfield, Ohio, there have been multiple bomb threats that have closed hospitals, closed schools down, things of that nature, and it is impacting the people so much so that the elected officials in that town and in the state are basically telling Trump to stay away, because even though they're along party lines, they are Republicans themselves. They're telling Trump to stay away because your comments are causing some trouble in our state and our city. But that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. You can follow me on social at Morgan Media. For more news coverage, make sure you're following the Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit BINnews.com. Thank y'all. Let's get through the week.
All right. Thank you, Morgan. Now, when we come back, pro wrestler Mercedes Mone will be joining us. She's formerly known as Sasha Banks. She recently signed the biggest record-breaking deal to AEW. We're going to kick it with her next. All right? It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Jess Hilarious is on maternity leave, so we have Lauren LaRosa filling in. And we got a special guest in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO, Mercedes Mone. Hey. Welcome.
What's up, champ?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here.
So I want to start from the beginning for people that don't know who you are. You are a huge wrestler. And
Yes.
how did you get into the wrestling game? What made you say, I want to do that?
It's when I was 10 years old. I started watching wrestling on TV, and there was like nothing on TV. I was scrolling through the channels, and then WWE was on. I was like, whoa, what is this? This is interesting. My mom came in the room. She's like, turn this off. Wrestling's the devil. Wrestling's so bad. I went to my brother's room the next door.
She said wrestling's the devil?
It's the devil. It's
The
so
devil.
bad.
Right.
She's religious?
She's very religious.
Okay.
Then I went to my brother's room, finished watching wrestling, and just instantly a light just came into my soul. I was like, this is going to be your soul calling. This is going to be your soul purpose. And since I was 10 years old till now, here I am at 32, every single day I was just dreaming about wrestling and being a professional wrestler. And now here I am, the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
Did your brother used to practice his moves on you? DDT?
No. My brother has special needs, so he couldn't have done that. No.
Okay.
So you originally were born in California.
Yes.
And then you moved to Boston.
Yeah.
Now, why did y'all move to Boston? Was it for your brother?
It was for my brother. My brother has special needs, and we moved around a lot just to find the right doctors and the right schools for him. And finally, my mom got a job out in Boston, so...
There's the Boston accent.
Yeah, we moved out there. I started training in MMA when I was 16 years old because there's no professional wrestling school that would train me at the time. You had to be 18.
You can fight for real then.
I was trying to train for real to get me ready for wrestling. Trained out in Massachusetts for 2 years until I turned 18, joined a pro wrestling school, and then 2 years later I got signed by WWE.
How did your mom feel when you started the training?
My mom was like, oh God, why? No. But once I got signed, she became my biggest fan. She drove me to all my wrestling shows and to wrestling training. So, deep down, she supported me. She loved it. She loved that I had this dream of legit since I was 10. Like this, I told my mom, this is what I was going to do. This is my goal. This is my dream. And I got to go do it. But once I really made it, that's when she's like my biggest fan.
Pardon my ignorance. I didn't know there was pro wrestling schools. It's like, what, Ric Flair University or something?
There's some professional wrestling schools all over the world, everywhere.
For this type of wrestling?
To be the best, you got to train with the best. And I've traveled all over the world to be the best.
Is it like you get belts there? You get degrees? Like, what do you get?
No, you don't. You get belts in the big leagues. I'm with AEW. I'm a 2-time champion. No, you just begin training. You learn how to bump, how to hit the ropes, how to be a performer, how to cut promos. There's, like I said, there's wrestling schools all over the world. They're in New York, they're in Boston, they're in England, they're in Australia. Wrestling is global.
Do these organizations go to these schools to find talent?
They do. They scout them out. They either scout them out, or us as wrestlers, we have to book ourselves. We have to go out and make a name for ourselves and be seen. I remember writing to WWE every single week. Anytime they were in town from Boston, I'm like, can I please be an extra? Can I be an extra work? Can I get a look at? Then they looked at me, and then they sent me down to Florida for a week tryout. And then that's when I got signed full time.
Wow.
Congrats.
What was your break? What was your big break that actually got you into wrestling?
I feel like my biggest break was in 2015. Myself and this wrestler named Bailey, we had the greatest women's match of all time. Sports Illustrated said we had the greatest women's match of all time, and that's really changed the landscape of women's wrestling after that match. I feel like a lot of people started taking it seriously and really letting people know that women can do it just like the men and more. And because me and Bailey had that match and the standing ovation and the crowd reaction, the next pay-per-view, me and her got to main event that pay-per-view special because we did so good.
Wow. And how many injuries did you receive, throughout this whole process? And how bad has it been?
Not too many. I've had about 5 broken noses,
Jesus.
my ribs broken,
Jesus.
Dislocated pelvis.
And you said not too many?
Not too many. And last year I broke my heel, which took me out for a whole year. Yeah.
How long did it take before you feel like you made it in wrestling?
I don't know. Maybe. No, I feel like I made it.
Okay.
Like I said, 2015 was like that start of that buzz for women's wrestling, and then really 2020, 2021, where I main evented WrestleMania, being the first ever black woman to main event a WrestleMania. That's when I really felt like I did something. I made it. I won an SB off that match. That's another match where fans come to me and be like, because of that match, my little girl wants to be a wrestler, or I can bring my kids to wrestling, or I enjoy all of this because of your matches. You make me feel a certain type of way. So I feel like maybe really in 2020, 2021 is when I really felt like I made it, or like I cemented my legacy in wrestling.
You take wrestling with your spouse to a whole nother level. Like, you wrestle with your girl or you have fun. You take that to a whole nother level.
No, you can't play with her.
No, you can't play with you.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'll slam you down. I'll put you in a bank statement. I'll make you tap out if you mess with me.
Could you imagine you playing with your girl and all of a sudden she got you in the
a legit armbar?
Headline. You're like, all right, tap
you
out.
You had to do that in real life for real to one of your guys?
Not to any of my guys. A couple of fans when they want to come a little too close. Yeah.
You don't got security?
I do have security.
I'm about to say.
I just got security, so yes.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't need security, to protect you from people, more so in some cases to protect people from you.
Yeah, exactly that.
Do guys approach you wanting you to do wrestle moves
all
to
the
them?
time?
That's
so
annoying.
Weird.
Mercedes body slam me, body slam me.
Because they just want to be really close and snug, but you gotta give them your space. You gotta be like, push back, hold the championship, and we'll stand a little far apart for our picture. That's it.
What do you think would have been your plan B if you didn't make it as a wrestler?
That's hard. I never really had a plan B before I was a wrestler. I was an order taker at a restaurant. I was a shoes associate. So I feel like maybe just a manager at a hotel. Like I just only saw wrestling for me. That was my A, B, C, D, E, F, G. My only goal, my only desire. So I think I would only be a professional wrestler in some type of way, or in the wrestling industry.
Did you ever feel like giving up? Did you always have like the full support of your family? Was there anybody saying, "Hey, why don't you go learn a trade"?
There's only been maybe twice in my career where I'm like, I don't think I can do this anymore. Just the pressure, the politics, let alone just the politics and being a woman in this sport. It's a male dominated sport and a woman of color. Nonetheless, there was a couple times where I had to look deep down inside and be like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go through this pain every single day? It's not just mental pain, it's physical pain that we're putting our bodies through every single week with the travel and then the bumping, getting on the cars, driving to the next towns. But then I just look back into my soul and be like, what is your sole purpose? What makes you smile? What makes your heart, flutter? What makes you go chase your goals? And it's always been professional wrestling.
Wow. What you said you worked at a shoe store?
I did.
What store did you work with?
Baker's.
Baker's shoe store.
Yeah.
So I see like your photos and your photo shoots, the stuff that you do for Mone Mack is like very like fashion, artsy. So incorporating your fashion sense and then like what you like about art and all that stuff into your brand, when did that become a thing? When did you know you needed to do that?
Right away. I mean, watching wrestling is larger than life. You had to watch like the Macho Man. You had the bright colors, the glasses, the hair. I knew when I was going to be a professional wrestler, I wanted to be larger than life because I was such a shy girl growing up. Then when I got signed, I dyed my hair, I got the nails, I got the necklace, I got the glasses. And then really I started to tap into myself and being like, okay, it's okay to be beautiful and feel that way and tap into your femininity. And I love fashion and art and getting to design your own wrestling gears but wear that out every single week. It's the funnest part of wrestling. I love being a girl and I love coming up with my costumes, and I feel like I have the best costumes in the game.
All right, we have more with pro wrestler Mercedes Mone. When we come back, don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess. Now, we're still kicking it with pro wrestler Mercedes Mone. Now, is it true that Snoop is a relative of yours?
He's my first cousin, yes.
Snoop is your first cousin?
Yeah.
When did you find that out? Did you always know growing up? Or
I didn't find out until I was maybe like 10 years old. And my dad's like, Snoop's coming to Iowa, where I lived at the time. He's like, so let's go see him. Saw him, and I told everybody at school, I'm like, Snoop Dogg's my cousin. And everyone's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Went to the concert, and Snoop gave me like a whole box of shirts to give to everybody at the school the next day. And I felt like the coolest kid in class. And then when I was 16, he was hosting WrestleMania. And I messaged my dad. I'm like, can you please ask Snoop to bring me to WrestleMania? Please, please, please. He brought me to WrestleMania. And I feel like just from that our bond came from wrestling. Like, we just talk about wrestling. We love wrestling.
Wow.
And still to this day, he's one of my biggest fans and supporters.
So first cousin, I mean, one of your parents is his
My dad
brother,
is his uncle, yes.
Oh, wow.
Uncle Rio.
Wow.
Wow. You smoke with him?
Yes, of course.
After a match, I'm hoping, not before.
After a match, yes. It's for my inflammation inspiration.
There you go.
It's for medicinal, yeah.
Yeah.
Your name used to be Sasha Banks.
Yes.
And then you changed it to Mercedes, which is your real
name.
Why the name change? Because Sasha Banks was such a big entity, big brand.
It was because I was with WWE, and they own that IP, Sasha Banks. And it was time for me to grow and to be more and to be more. Like, I legit wanted to find myself. And it's so hard to be a different identity and a different name for 10 years, having someone call you by a different name and pretending for you to be this character that they want you to be. So for me, I wanted more for women's wrestling. I wanted more for myself. And I said, where can I do that? How can I do that? And that was jumping the ship and going to AEW.
Where did the Sasha Banks name come from?
It came from WWE. They tell everybody when you get signed to come give up like a list of names, and I gave them Sasha with a different last name and Banks with a different first name, and they were like, ding, 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 Sasha Banks, here's your name.
Was it never an option for you to be like, I want to own the IP of Sasha Banks, or that's just how it goes?
It was never the option. Not with that company. No. But with AEW, now I own my name and I own my brand, and it's the best it's ever been for myself in my career. It's the best.
Do you ever feel like you was losing yourself in the caricature of Sasha Banks?
Absolutely, because you have to play her 24/7. Being a wrestler is role-playing online. It's role-playing offline. It's once you're off the flight, you gotta be on. Because once I put on that wig, I'm on. I'm Sasha Banks. And it's just like, I'm not her. I'm Mercedes. I'm Mercedes Mone. And I really felt like it was time to be that and to own that brand.
So what's the difference between, you think, Mercedes Mone and Sasha Banks?
Well, Sasha was a legit boss. And now Mercedes, she leveled up. She is the CEO of her own life. She is the CEO of the women's division, and she is the best of the game. She won't let anybody tell her no. And with Sasha Banks, I was told what to do. I was told what to say. I was told where to be. And now, really, I get to be the CEO of my own life and let people know where I want to be.
You know why I know that you're a person who's willing to bet on yourself? You don't see people leave the WWE.
No.
To go to a company like AEW. So I would think it's like the other way around. Like WWE is like the top of the top, right?
That's usually how it used to be, but now it's not. Wrestling has become bigger than ever. And now that there's a second brand like this, like AEW, who's here to disrupt this industry, disrupt the business, it's been amazing. Next week, we're going to be celebrating 5 years of AEW. We're beating out WCW, and fans online are getting mad about that every single day, but it's the best it's ever been. And it's the most talked about that professional wrestling has ever been talked about in this industry of the world. So it's the best time to be a fan and to be a professional wrestler in the sport.
Why'd you leave WWE, though?
I left for many different reasons. A lot of personal stuff happened with myself and the chairman at the time. And I didn't like how he talked to me and how I was, just talked down to. And I was like, you know what? It's time to legit listen to your soul and your heart. There was a light that came to me one day, and I just left WWE. And my guides told me, and I'm guided to being a 2-time champion at AEW.
So you see somebody like Vince McMahon. He's got the sexual abuse suit, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not the lawyer. I don't know, something like that.
But he used to talk to you crazy?
Yeah, a little crazy. That day he would talk to me a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was enough to be like, I'm out.
It was enough for my source of light to come into my body and be like, you know what, if you stay, that's not okay. This is for the rest of your life. And what are you going to teach your kids? What are you going to teach just people? If you're feeling like this from words, after being here for 10 years, you got to stand up for yourself. And that's what I did. There's a light, the same light that came to me when I was 10 years old, being like, this is your sole purpose. This is what you're going to do. Another light came to me and being like, you got to walk away and do something better for yourself. So
and there was no protection for you guys, for wrestlers, especially for female wrestlers at all?
No, but we're changing that every day. I'm changing that every day for women's wrestling. Yeah.
So there was no human resources over there that could be like, you could complain?
We went to everybody, and no.
Damn.
Where'd y'all go after WWE? You went to Japan.
I went to Japan, and I won the IWGP Women's Championship. Trinity went to TNA and became the Knockout Champion. And now here I am as the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. I've done a lot of things just leaving WWE. I walked the runways. I did a movie. I just tapped in, finding out who Mercedes really is, because I was Sasha for so long.
Are you going to get to do whatever that collab was supposed to be with Meg Thee Stallion?
Not right now. Not, unfortunately, no.
What was that supposed to be?
Like, something fun, either a tag team match, a wrestling match, something.
But she's wrestling with you?
I would like some, either wrestle with me or wrestle against me. But there was talks of doing something fun with her. But now she's doing the opening theme song for SmackDown, which is awesome.
But is it because you can't because you were with WWE before, now you're not, or is it just right now brand wise you just don't want to be attached because she's attached?
No, just
to WWE?
brand wise. She did a song with WWE and I'm with AEW, so I just think we can't do anything together.
But are y'all still homegirls? Y'all still talk?
She's not my best friend or anything, but she wants to be my homegirl. Absolutely. We only met a couple of times, and she's really awesome.
You just had your CEO hat on when you were trying to put that
I was
together.
trying to get her on the board. That's exactly right.
Yeah, didn't Sexy Red do something with AEW?
She did something with not AEW, NXT.
NXT?
Yeah, which is part of WWE.
Wow, wrestling, it's so much going on.
It's a lot of different, yeah.
Jesus
Who else would you want to wrestle in the celebrity world? Because I love when I seen Floyd do it. I love when I seen Shaq do it. Who else was it? It was
Shaq
a
did
reggaeton
it.
artist did it too as well. It did a great job. Who else would you want to wrestle if possible?
Ooh, wrestle. I would like my tag team partner to be Nicki Minaj because I love her. And who would I want to wrestle? I might have to wrestle like a Kim Kardashian or even just a Beyonce to see if she can even throw it down.
Oh my God, you would wrestle Beyonce?
I would have to wrestle Beyonce.
Girl.
The queen of it all.
You can't wrestle Beyonce. You take her down the wrong way. I think your career's over.
You'd have to take a dive.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to let her beat you up.
I would let her do that. Yeah. I would let her take the championship, you know?
Now, wrestling is not fake, but it is predetermined,
It's a little predetermined.
So how do y'all figure out, do you know if you're going to lose or win the next match, or do you just walk into a room and they be like, you're losing today?
Something like that. Usually when we get to the show, we have a card and our agent or our coach will be like, well, today this match is going to be this, and Mercedes is over, and this is how we want her to win. Last year, when I was supposed to win this New Japan Strong Women's Championship, I got injured, and I had to change the match on the fly and make the other girl win. So when I say it's predetermined, you really don't know what's going to happen. We can get injured, we can get concussed, and maybe not kicked out. Maybe my opponent won't remember the move, and it'll be like, what's next? So yeah, it's predetermined, but it's so real. You never know what's going to happen in that ring.
How often do wrestlers go rogue where it's like, you know what, I'm not losing today?
All the time, I feel like.
Really?
If they're not mad about losing, they're mad about they're not getting that many moves into the match, or they want to look the best out of the match. They want to do extra stuff. I've wrestled people like that who've done a little extra to me that we haven't talked about. I'm just like,
is there fines for that though? Like, I'm supposed to win, I get body slammed 3 times, but they just effing you up in that ring.
I wish there was more fines, but you just have to give them a receipt in the ring and snug them back.
That's crazy. All right, we got more with Mercedes Mone when we come back. Of course, she's a wrestler from the AEW, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess, and we're still kicking it with pro wrestler Mercedes Mone. Charlamagne?
Is AEW going to be screaming on HBO Max?
I don't know. There's rumors of that. There's definitely rumors of us joining Discovery and HBO Max, which would be huge, but I'm not sure if that deal is done yet, but I hope so for wrestling.
How do you feel about that as opposed to it being on TBS or TNT? Because, growing up, I grew up in South Carolina, so that's all I used to watch was TBS and TNT.
Oh, it's still very much going to be on TBS and TNT every single week. I'm the TBS champion for a reason. I'm the face of TBS.
Oh, so it's all the same company,
It's
right?
all the same. I'm still going to be on TBS, so it's not going anywhere. I'm going to be on TNT and TBS for a very long time.
What do you feel about Raw going from 3 hours to 2 hours?
I think that sucks for the wrestlers. Just if you lose a whole hour, that's a whole opportunity of performing in front of a live audience and in front of millions watching at home. But I think just the move to Netflix is so huge for them that they're going to gain so much more opportunities in so many different other ways. So
does having that one less hour really make a difference for a wrestler?
Would you think adding an hour to your show would add or take away?
You'd be tired.
We did it during COVID. I didn't really care.
It was a lot during COVID.
I think it'd be tired.
I think for performers, it's great. Just like I said, to give more opportunity, and especially for women as well. Like, we're only given 5 to 8 minutes, so it's like we need that extra hour. We need that time. Tell a story. Yeah.
I read that you were the highest paid woman in pro wrestling, correct?
I hope so.
Okay.
I would like to think so. I don't know other people's bank accounts, but I like that title.
Do you feel like your pay is based on your value in the company, or do you feel like you should be making more money? Like, you feel like there should be more money allotted to you and just other women?
Oh, I definitely want to make more money. Absolutely.
I guess I'm asking you, do you think you're getting what you deserve right now?
I am. And it's so, I don't even want to say it's crazy. It's beautifully deserved and earned. And it's something that I worked so hard for such a long time.
Yeah.
And it's something that I want women to work for. It's like, I finally got something that as women, we're like, no, you can't even see those numbers. You can't even talk about those numbers. You can't even walk into the room and even ask for a raise or to ask for a bonus or anything. So to get what I feel like I deserve, plus I feel like I deserve so much more, and I'm going to get that, it's so amazing. I think that gives people a chance to dream more, that they can make more too if they put in the hard work.
What do you think, what are some ways that AEW can close the gap with WWE? I was looking at Forbes and they had these 5 ways that AEW can close the gap with WWE. What do you think?
Ooh, I don't know what it means to close the gap. I feel like it's always going to be a weird competition, but it's just, AEW's only been around for 5 years. WWE has been around for 30 plus. I don't know what kind of gap you can close with that, such a big gap of who's been around for so long. I think just AEW just has to keep on being its own brand and being AEW and being where the best wrestle. That's our slogan, and that's where legit the greatest wrestlers are signed there. The best performers are signed there. And you get to see that every week on TBS and TNT. We have the greatest performers from all over the world. And I think that's just what makes us different. I don't think there's any gap that we have to close. I think we just have to keep on standing out and being our own brand.
As a Force said, embrace being an underdog and an alternative to WWE. Sign top talents who will make a difference.
There you go.
Balance the incredible in-ring action with quality storylines.
Bam.
Utilize the talented AEW roster to the fullest and continue spotlighting the women's division.
They're doing that. They're doing that every single day. So if anybody's in the New York area, make sure you guys come out tonight for AEW Grand Slam. So
that's right. Happens at 8 p.m. on TBS, of course. I was a question. I know you are the highest paid woman in pro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
If me and Lauren want to give you just a couple of dollars to hit Charlamagne, to knock him out, how much would you charge us?
Ooh, you don't do community write-offs?
And I don't. Can I just get a bag each? What do you want me to do to him? Tap him out?
No, I want him to feel it for like at least a month after.
A month after?
That's easy.
I just say a
Maybe
tap
make
out
it
is
hard
good.
for him to talk.
What do you do to him? What do you guys do to him?
You know how there's like the villain in the storyline all the time?
You should recommend it to somebody in this room. I'm not going to say who.
He's a hater.
But if you just
It's not you.
He's
That's
a
for sure, okay? It hasn't been him for a very long time, and that's why he's angry. You know how men are about letting their hairline go.
I can teach you a couple moves. You don't have to pay me for that. I'll teach you.
Thank you. Because you felt it. You see what I be going
through? I felt that, yes.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. 8 p.m. on TBS, Grand Slam Dynamite, and then Grand Slam Collision comes on Saturday, 8 p.m. on TNT. What's the difference between Dynamite and Collision?
Dynamite is every Wednesday on TBS and Collision is every Saturday on TNT.
But how often do you wrestle? Do you wrestle every week?
I pretty much defend my championship every month. I don't wrestle every week. I gotta look cute. It's different here in AEW. I gotta sit next to my chairman, my EVPs, and I gotta look beautiful. I gotta defend these championships at the pay-per-views. But I'm always looking good on Dynamite every Wednesday because I am the face of TBS.
Would you ever go back to WWE if they offered you like the right bag and they said, "Hey, we're gonna give you back we're gonna let you have your real name. We'll give you back the rights to Sasha Banks."
After the way that AEW has been treating me,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like I have the best relationship with AEW right now, and it's legit. I'm living my dreams, and it's the best place I've ever been, mentally and physically, and to be able to have new dreams after being in the industry for 14 years, it's the best feeling in the world. So AEW is my home right now.
Dope.
And how's dating life for you? How do men approach you? Are they nervous? Are they scared?
Right now I'm not dating because I'm so busy, and I would assume so. They're nervous and scared.
You wouldn't do dating apps, right?
No way.
How do you? If you were to date, how do you meet people? Because
she needs advice.
Yeah,
I
just got on Christian
I don't
Mingle.
know. I don't.
I am not on Christian Mingle. I'm asking you that because
I'm not dating anybody. I don't know. I can't give you any advice.
Guys be into like wrestling and stuff, so they would know like instantly like
I don't know if I want a wrestling
Mercedes, you're not dating because you don't want to.
Right, yes.
She's not dating because she doesn't have
Mercedes,
a choice.
See why after this? Are my nails too long to put them
those
out?
are perfect.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's perfect. Just
okay.
Him, scratch him, tap him out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Can I
the
talk with a
CEO,
boat?
Mercedes Mone, thank you for joining us so much.
Thanks for having me.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Come on like that, you made me nervous.
That's your dumb ass. You're not used to seeing black men happy. That's your problem.
Nah,
as
a
white Dominican,
I'm not a white Dominican.
As a white
I'm
Dominican,
so confused. As a white Dominican,
you're not used to seeing black men happy.
No,
what kind of statement is that?
Because it wasn't a smile, it was like a smirk smile.
I'm always happy.
Like
I'll
the
be
evil
laughing.
genius.
You always happy?
Life is amazing. Okay,
Life is amazing. It is what it should be.
Find something to laugh at. All right, I look in here, I look at your beard, and I chuckle every single time. Right, Lauren?
Don't agree with him. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Because you know what's coming next.
I'm out of this.
All right, Jess with the mess with Lauren LaRosa. Let's go.
News is real, whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies, She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide mess.
On the Breakfast Club.
She's the coach of shit.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back. And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
So we have a Breakfast Club exclusive. Shout out to our producer, Taylor Made It.
Never heard of her.
Why you always hating?
See, that's what I said.
The next story that I'm exclusively break up here is how he really hates and doesn't see black women.
That's my number one op, first of all.
I'm sure black women are your op.
No, Taylor's my number one op.
We know. We know.
God.
You didn't have
A hairdresser is your number one op. How about that? A curl and I is your number. See?
That's how to tell you.
Okay. Oh, and you drop a bomb for him, huh?
Yeah, they playing with you.
Don't they be playing with
being
you.
violent, putting them type of things on me.
Mm-hmm. You like being things putting violently on you, and then
In him.
so
Go ahead.
yeah, right. So anyway, Taylor Made It. She attended an event last night in Brooklyn. Issa Rae held an event called Via Rae Presents. Via Rae is Issa Rae's sparkling wine company.
Mm-hmm.
So Issa does this thing where she sits down in conversation, and you drink wine, and it's like cute. She brings out friends. She brought out a comedian Little Rel, Law Roach, Erica Alexander last night. But last night she also addressed the Amanda Seales stuff, which I have never heard Issa publicly speak about. So I want us to take a listen. The first thing they got into was just in general, and she doesn't say her name in this clip, but I'm going to come back in and tell you why we know she's talking about Amanda Seales. Just in general, people that Issa would not work with again.
Person that I would never work with again. I mean, anybody who's on the podcast to talk about me, honestly. Yeah, let's hear it. I've had great experiences with everybody I've worked with, though. So for the most part, like, I'm always grateful when people come back.
So Taylor recorded that?
Yeah, and what was so dope about that? Go ahead.
I thought that you couldn't have phones in that event.
They didn't say she couldn't have a phone. People were they were reposting people on the Insta story, so don't do that to Taylor Made.
Okay.
Now, was it legally taped?
Like, what is it that you want to make it harder on the black woman that work with you? What's going on?
You know, now I see why you used to work at TMZ, because you're just a liar. You're a liar.
Am I?
You're just a liar who likes to sensationalize.
If you go
like,
to
what kind of headline is that?
If you go to the
what black women got to do with this?
Instagram, well, Taylor Made It is a black woman who had the news knowledge enough to know that this was something that people would want to hear, because we've never heard Issa Rae in response to Amanda Seales. And in that clip, like I said,
he likes black women. He just don't like light-skinned men.
That's a fact.
I thought he loved you, though.
No, what you just said is absolutely true.
He loves me.
The way he be here rubbing and touching,
Did
I
you
didn't
see
know.
back to the story?
Okay, let's get back. Let's focus. So, in that clip, she says people have gotten on podcasts and talked about me, right? So the crowd goes crazy because the last person that we've seen get on a podcast and talk about Issa Rae in a way was Amanda Seales. Now, let's take a listen to the clip of Amanda Seales on Shannon Sharp's show talking about Issa Rae.
I got a call from Issa, and she called me and said, hey, I heard what happened this weekend. I just want you to know I have nothing to do with it. Would you be willing to talk to Vanessa? So I've never talked about this publicly because it has always been incredibly important to me to protect Issa, because I know that Issa is doing something within this business that so few people get to do. And it's not something I desire to do. However, there's just been enough instances at this point where I should have been protected by Issa and I wasn't. And one of my biggest problems that we have discussed several times in this interview is that I think people are going to show up for me the way I show up for them. And now it's at a point where my protecting of Issa has become turned on to me and something that people are using against me. There's a whole narrative that is completely false that people keep spinning. They keep saying, you know, that I'm this mean girl on this set, that I harmed these people on this set. How can I be a mean girl on a set that ain't my set?
Now, people did take that whole whatever happened on that Insecure set, and they did turn it on Amanda Seales. And I think a big part of that is because a lot of people feel like in that situation, Amanda had to be the problem because you don't hear a lot of people speak ill of Issa. And also there weren't too many other issues that came off of that set. And it's right, Amanda Seales has the right to defend herself and say that is not true. But then she goes on to say some other things and talk about the Emmys party, which has always been an issue, where Amanda Seales got kicked out of a Black Emmys party, and it was low-key felt like she was throwing it and saying it was Issa's fault because Issa's publicist was at the hem of this. So Issa Rae also addressed this. Let's take a listen to Issa Rae addressing this.
You know what's crazy about that whole Emmys thing is I wasn't even there. I was in New York and I found out the next morning like everybody else.
Did you or did you not force her? Because she used the word very clear. She used the word force. I have watched it. I think that.
I wanted two adults to, you know, have a conversation and mend a relationship. Two adults who didn't like each other, and it didn't work out, and we got back to work.
And in that conversation, so they go from the Emmys party, but they also are talking about the phone call that Issa called Amanda Seales and said, hey, I think you should get on the phone with my publicist. Y'all need to work this out. And this was after the Emmys party. Now let's take a listen to Amanda Seales explaining how she felt the phone call went.
So I take the call. Hi, Amanda, this is Vanessa. I just want you to know that, so none of this has anything to do with Issa. That's the first thing she says. None of this has anything to do with Issa. So I just want you to know that, but I do want you to understand that it was me who kicked you out the party. Okay. So, I just want you to know that the reason I kicked you out the party is because I don't like you. Okay. Well, that's all I need to know. There's nothing else for us to talk about, and I hang up. She calls me back immediately. Why'd you hang up? I said, because there's nothing else for us to talk about. She says, don't you want to know why I don't like you? No, I don't, because it's none of my business. I've never done anything to you. And for you to put me in harm's way off of literally nothing means that I don't need to talk to you about why you don't like me. You need to talk to your therapist about why you don't like me. And I hung up the phone.
So Amanda feels like in that situation, Issa should have stepped in a bit more and been like, we all got to work together. We all here. It's my publicist. You're basically my employee on set. I got to make this right. And from what it sounds like Issa is saying on this stage for the first time publicly is, y'all are two grown women. I wanted y'all to figure that out. I did my duty by putting y'all on the phone. I thought that you guys would figure it out from there, and at least we would be able to move forward to be cordial enough to whatever. And she said she wasn't even at the party, so she had nothing to do with her being thrown out of that party.
Lauren, are you finished stirring up issues between Black women? Have you had enough this morning of stoking the flames?
Oh, we going there?
Of issues
Oh, because the way
women?
you sitting here and you don't even stir the pot. I think you sitting here, it's like pottery
I'm
barn.
sitting there watching you cook, and I can't believe the dish you making. I can't believe this recipe.
The pot.
I can't believe this recipe that you just made this morning.
Oh,
Are you finished?
if I took the recipe, it was out of your book, baby. Because the way you sitting here all day long.
Are you finished?
Oh, wow. I'm done. I am so done. Look at my eyes. I am done. I'm giving you that. Don't play with me in this store.
So wait a minute. So why doesn't a publicist like Amanda Seales? Nobody knows.
Here you go, girl.
I'm just asking.
Here you go with your spoon.
I'm just asking.
Here you go with your spoon.
I don't even know if that's...
Let me stir this pot. Let me see what you cooking, Lauren. Let me taste this, Lauren.
I don't even know.
I know what I can add.
I'm not. I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying
Goya.
There's so much.
Goya?
Right. Yeah.
Why Goya? I'm not Dominican.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not Dominican.
Okay. All I'm gonna say is I don't even know if that's relevant to this because the point in this whole thing was what I would hope is at this point, since people have now heard from Issa, and Issa's basically saying her intentions weren't ill. Like she didn't throw someone out of a party. She wasn't trying to put someone on the phone and basically back them into a corner. That we can move forward now, let this whole thing rest, and whatever went down, and maybe they don't get along, maybe they're not cordial. It's cool. We gonna move on. That was the point. Sir, talk a lot. You got something to say?
It was resting.
Oh, okay.
You decided to be crypt keeper and dig it all up. I guess it's perfectly. I thought it was perfectly rested to me.
All right. Well, thank you for Jess With The Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
You better not repost this clip either.
I'm not.
Stay far away from this.
I do not want no parts of this. Okay.
Well, who you giving your donkey to, sir?
4 after the hour. We need somebody named Chris Todd to come to the front of the congregation. Chris Todd is the person who published the alleged Kim Porter book. We'll discuss.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
I was born a donkey.
It's the donkey of the day.
For the donkey of the day.
That's pretty funny.
Charlamagne the devil?
Possible. The Breakfast Club.
Yes. Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, September 25th goes to Chris Todd. Chris Todd is the man behind the publication of a book called Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side. It is a 59-page book that, as of yesterday, was #1 on Amazon. It was self-published on September 6th, but ever since Diddy was arrested, sales have gone through the roof. Now, the book makes allegations about Kim Porter's relationship with Diddy, says things like Diddy was begging for a pagan. He wanted to be... Man, shut up! I'm trying to be a serious journalist.
Sorry.
That's your problem.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to be a serious journalist.
Ain't nothing serious or journalist about letting over there.
Let me get back. I'm not listening to you. Let me get back.
Let me woosah. Go ahead.
Channel it from your inner thick thighs.
Begging from the pagan. Go.
Come on.
Now, the book makes allegations about Kim Porter's relationship with Diddy. Says things like Diddy was begging for a pagan. He wanted to be penetrated. I don't know how that helps to move the story forward, but it's there. Okay, what are some other things in this book, Lauren LaRosa?
The book also alleges that Diddy had extravagant sex parties with high-profile celebrities, including Oscar winners, that Diddy allegedly recorded himself in very compromising situations, including an encounter with an 18-year-old male pop star who went on to become a household name. It also alleges that he was physically violent to Kim Porter. It also alleges that Kim Porter had to make copies of certain tapes as insurance because she thought things would be used against her. These are all alleged in this book.
Damn. Now, the way Chris Todd got this book, according to him, this is what he told Rolling Stone. He said 2 people allegedly close to Combs and Kim contacted him about the book after claiming to have the late actress and model's hard drive, which he said he didn't question. He claimed they said they had her flash drive. I didn't ask too many questions about how they got it or where did it come from. And that right there is the problem. That is the problem I have, okay? That right there is exactly what's wrong with this era. People get information and don't ask any questions about it. He said he didn't ask about how they got it or where did it come from. Okay? It's salacious. It's shocking. And it will generate what? Money and attention. That's all folks care about nowadays. We have all these conversations about combating misinformation. We wouldn't have to combat misinformation if people simply had some integrity. Because I don't care how juicy a story is. I don't care how controversial a story is. First things first, you have to make sure it's true. You have to at least attempt to do some fact checking. Okay, cite some sources. I was born in 1978. I'm old enough to remember when we knew the difference between tabloid gossip and actual factual news and information. Those days are over. And the reason Chris Todd is getting donkey of the day is because he also told Rolling Stone magazine, if somebody put my feet to the fire and they said life or death, is that book real? I have to say, I don't know. But it's real enough to me. Sometimes you have to just put it out there. What do you mean it's real enough to me? Who are you? F your feelings. Let's deal with the facts. Just because you believe something doesn't make it true. And on the flip side, just because you don't believe something, it doesn't make it false. By the way, you're listening to someone who would see the headlines as a kid like, I had Bigfoot's love child. You know, you'd be in the line at the grocery store with your mom and you see the tabloid and I had Bigfoot's love child. I will see those headlines and want to hear more. But that don't mean I believed it. That is not how this generation works, though. If they see it on social media, if they see it on a website, it doesn't matter what the source is. It doesn't matter where it came from, who's saying it. If they want to believe it, they will, because nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining. Chris Todd goes on to tell Rolling Stone, maybe not 100% of the book is true, but maybe 80% is.
What?
He said that is to get those people to come forward and either corroborate or deny the claims, and that helps me as an investigator to know the truth. Chris Todd, what the F are you even talking about? Okay, don't try to make this some moral, righteous release as if you're putting this book out because you want people to corroborate or deny claims. A real investigator would take this book, and if there's something to be investigated, if there are leads to be had, then they would go and collect real evidence to build their case. Chris, you just trying to make money off a hot topic. Knock it off. And you don't care about who you hurt in the process. And this ain't about Diddy. Okay? This is not about Diddy at all. This is about the legacy of Kim Porter. I didn't know Kim Porter. Sat next to her once at a Dave Chappelle comedy show. One of her best friends is one of my favorite people on the planet, Marbette Brittle. Drop on the clues bar for Marbette Brittle. But I do know that if I was Kim and I was resting in peace, if there was some words that I allegedly left behind, I would want them to be my words. Okay? Why? Because I got young kids who have to read this stuff. Can you imagine how traumatic that must be for the babies? The fact that the kids had to release a statement. Can you read some of the statement, Lauren?
The statement says, claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. Our lives were shattered when we lost our mother. She was our world, and nothing has been the same since she passed. We are deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been the most tragic event of our lives. Our mother should be remembered for her beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I mean, people believe everything they read on the internet except the truth. And I'm not even mad at people that are misinformed. I'm more upset about the people who willfully misinform them. Chris Todd said himself, I don't know if this is real, yet he still put it into the world. With no regard to Kim Porter's legacy, no regard to how this will impact the kids, all he could think about was capitalizing off the current news cycle concerning Diddy. And he's not the only one. I am all for exposing the truth, but you have to know it's the truth. And the thing I've learned about the truth in my life is that the lies are always loud. The truth is always quiet. And it was like that before social media, but social media now just amplifies the lies even louder. According to People magazine, Kim Porter's family is pursuing legal options. Her lawyer calls the memoir fake and shameless. I hope they sue, even if you don't get anything, because there might not be anything to get. Sometimes you just have to make examples out of people. Most of the time, folks, don't sue. It's because it costs money to sue. It costs time to sue. And you spend all this money and all this time and don't get nothing back. But every now and then, you just have to prove a point. And that's what I want everyone to understand. Can you afford to lie? Can you afford to not have something be actual and factual? I know YouTube and these podcasts make you feel like you can say whatever you want, but please always remember, free speech is not free. And there is a cost for every single word you utter. And if you can't afford to lie, please shut the F up forever. Please let Remy Ma give Chris Todd the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, you stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
That's sad.
It is sad.
Very sad. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
There's only one thing I would want to believe in this book.
What is that, sir?
I don't want to say.
What is that?
What is that? It's just, it's this little rhyme.
What's that?
Begging for a pagan.
That's all you care about.
Brad, you've been going off with the sound effects.
First of all,
and you gonna look around like you didn't. You led him right to it. Whoa. You look so surprised.
Whoa.
Like you didn't know it was coming your way.
I had no idea. Let me hold my Palo Santo.
Please.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right.
Let's light that at 4 a.m. next time, y'all. He's been off all day. I don't know what's going on.
Pagan is crazy.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today. Now let's open up the phone
Beg
lines.
for it.
All right.
You want to be pegged.
Woosah, begging for the pegging.
You don't like the people who beg. You want them to it's just a text message conversation.
Just begging
Where you
for
at
it
with
is
the
crazy.
eyes?
Begging for it is crazy. Regardless of who's begging for it. Just begging for it? Please beg me? God damn.
Can we save that audio? Do you have that audio? Thank you. All right. Now, when we come back, let's open up the phone lines.
What you gonna do with that?
Pleading for pagans?
You taking that home? What you doing with that?
Yes, let's woosah. Let's woosah out of this. Let's woosah out of this. All right. Let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051.
Have you ever begged for a pagan? What we about to do? What we about to do?
I thought you was asking Envy that. And I'm like, why you keep getting on this radio and telling people
what's the
personal
topic?
business? Don't nobody want to be all in your bedroom?
Let's woosah this. I was in Vegas.
Whoa!
Envy. Now you know. Now you
Tell
know.
us more, Peggy Bundy.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. But no, seriously, 800-585-1051. I was in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and when I walked into my hotel room, I was on FaceTime with my wife, and I noticed in the corner.
Your whole room, what?
I walked into my hotel room.
Oh.
I was on FaceTime with my wife, and I noticed there was something pink in the corner. When I went to look at what was pink, it was a pair of panties. So I'm asking, I had my wife on the phone and I was talking. I was like, if you had flown in after me for whatever reason and walked in the room and seen these panties there, and I said, I don't know where they got there, would you believe me? And she said, absolutely not.
Nope, I would have walked to Vegas to slap you.
So we're opening up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. 800-585-1051. If you walked into your spouse's room, your boyfriend, your girlfriend's room,
your friend's
room.
Be inclusive.
All right.
Okay.
If you walked into whoever's room, your they, your he, your she's room, and you found some panties there, and when they got there, you said that you don't know how they got there, would you believe them? That is the question. 800-585-1051.
Why you look so confused, Charlamagne?
I don't. I am so
As soon as this happened, I called Charlamagne.
I bet you did. Why you called him first?
I said, look what was in my room. He said, what, that fell out your bag?
Fell out your damn bag.
That looked like the color you'd wear.
Yeah, because your man always know what underwear he buys you. Y'all know how that go?
Lauren is violent.
800-585-1051. Would you believe your spouse? Let's discuss. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Steady calling my phone.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. If you just joined us, I was actually talking about this on my podcast that came out yesterday. I was in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and when I walked into my room, there was a pair of pink panties laying on the floor. Now, I was very upset. I went and complained. And the reason I was upset is if my wife came in the flight after me or, the next day and walked into the room and seen that there, how would I explain that? The room wasn't cleaned well enough and there was some panties there. I asked my wife, I said, well, would you believe me if I tell you that I don't know how they got there? And she said, hell no. She was like, I love you. I trust you. She was like, but that has to be explained. And there's no way to explain that.
Yes, it is.
And I understood. What?
The truth. Because, at the end of the day, all you could do in that situation was tell her the truth. And I think that, one thing about the truth, you can tell when somebody is being sincere. You can tell when somebody is being authentic. I think it's just like an energy that we all have, a sixth sense, a spidey sense. You know when somebody's BSing you, and you know when somebody's telling you the truth. I think she would have known that you were telling the truth in that situation.
If I said I don't know how they got there, because I wouldn't know how they got there. I'd be
That's
like,
the reality.
I don't know how they
walked
got
in
there.
and these panties were just sitting here.
So would your wife have believed you if she came and saw them and you said, I don't know?
I think she would. Because I think she knows me well. I think women, well, you wouldn't know Lauren because you're not in a relationship, but I think when women understand, right? Like Envy, your woman knows when you was lying.
Right.
Even when you didn't give her no reason. Women just have a sixth sense about when they being lied to or when they being played with. They also have that woman's intuition when they know you doing the right thing. When they know you moving correctly. So I believe that my woman would have believed me if I would have been like, I have no idea how those got there. I think she knows me well enough.
But some stuff is just like,
you can't explain that. Like, there's
irony,
no reason. Like, nah.
Because, just because I don't have a boyfriend now doesn't mean I've never had one. You just like to think that. The irony of the situation would have been very insane, especially if you have a history of doing whatever, regardless of where you are. It just would have been like,
but how
the hell?
The history is the reason why she should believe you, because she saw the change in you.
That is
she
true.
know you
True.
not. She know you ain't been moving that
That's
way in
true.
a long
But to
time.
explain-
Why would you go back now?
You're right, but to explain a random pair of panties in a room after a
just
room has
ironic
been
as hell.
cleaned.
And she, listen.
What is that phrase? I can't explain my lying eyes or whatever that thing is. Like, you see it there and it's like, how
You're
did that get there?
53 years old.
I'm not 53. I'm nowhere near 53.
She would know. She would know with the history that you have. The last thing you would do is do that in Vegas. Like that's like that's rookie stuff. Like Vegas, bro.
I mean, we've seen people do some Ricky stuff in Vegas and have to come out and talk about it, and they're
But they
pretty
be
much
on
older.
drugs.
Kevin Hart was on drugs.
Diddy ain't on drugs.
No, I'm talking about when Kevin Hart got his little situation. I would have thought he was a little older and too
Drugs
advanced.
and alcohol.
Well, let's go to the phone lines. Well, would you trust your man first and foremost? If you had a man, would you trust him?
I wouldn't. That you wouldn't have. We would have had to be on FaceTime and you walking in that room.
Because
I wouldn't have-
when you flew in and you see that thing, you be like, you got to explain this.
The
And if he
irony of
said,
it.
I don't know how they got there, what would you say?
So did they just magically appear? Did God just place them here
And can I
because
say-
he wanted
and
me to
he's
be
like, I don't
mad?
know. And can I say something else?
Oh, God.
There was no reason for you to bring that man up just now, okay? I ain't even gonna go back to it. Lauren is I mean, just for no reason. Why would you say that?
She just pulled out the
That was
bazooka.
the only example of Vegas and
But
stupidity that I had.
Why? What's up with you and bringing up old stuff this morning?
I just
You want to
ignored
stir up stuff between Issa and Amanda. Now you bringing up Kev's situation. Why, Lauren? What do you have
We are
against the
not
black
going to
man
sit
this
here
morning?
and have this
What do
conversation
you-
as if you because
Why
one
do you
thing
hate
as a
black people this morning?
one thing as a black woman that we always try to do is protect y'all little circle head jelly
You love
bean
white
face
men.
having.
You love white
and
men.
when we do that, we get
you
this.
used to worship Travis
you
Kelce.
sat in this room.
Caleb Plant was
this
in here
morning
yesterday, and
when
you
we
was in here
decided
drooling.
to talk about Issa and Amanda Seals, and you were head over heels about those
That's not
clips.
true. You love
Yes,
white
you
men with
was.
beards.
I know there's
Guys.
cameras
A white
in this
man
room.
with a beard.
You know what else I wouldn't
A
believe?
white man with a beard is
Never
your
believe-
kryptonite.
Never believe a black man who
Gals.
likes Palo Santos.
A white man with a beard makes sure braids straight.
Hello, who's this?
Nice that flip phone.
This is Megan.
Megan, good morning.
Okay, what's good?
Now, Megan, you walk into your man's hotel room, you see some panties on the floor. You ask him how he got there. He said he doesn't know.
Oh, you want to know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't wear underwear. So where the hell are these coming from? So best believe I'm going to break everything in that hotel room, and he's going to have to pay for it.
But he told you he told you he didn't know.
He didn't know. Oh, he said he didn't know? Okay, so it just magically popped out of thin air?
It did!
So if it did, he should have counted his dots and T's and crossed his eyes and all the things and made sure he walked in that room and there was no panties.
But Megan, I don't know if you heard the story. I walked in and there was panties there. Like I walked into a room. Like I checked in. And if I just put my bag down and went to the casino and my wife came in after, how do you explain that? Because I really didn't do anything. I really can't explain how it got there.
I think they fell out of Envy's bag.
They did not fill out my bag.
You better get on your knees. You better ask the front concierge, hey, you better explain this to my wife because I'm about to get murdered.
That's what I wilded out. I went downstairs. I wilded out, and I even asked the manager, who was a woman. I said, "What would you do if you walked into a room and you seen that?" And she said, "I would get a divorce from my husband." I said, "Exactly." And I said, "Well, what can I get?" And it was like free food, so I just took the free food.
I mean, what was they supposed to give you?
I don't know because the room was already comped, so I was like, "All right, I'll take
But
it."
I will
Gave you
say
something to
it's
eat.
a-
You
it's
put
a-
something in your mouth when you went down there to complain.
Don't shut up, man.
The things you fixate on, man, I swear. I will say it's a good place that you're at in your marriage, though, that your wife wouldn't even think twice about that. Like, that's where...
I didn't say she wouldn't think twice. I'm just saying that if you've been with somebody long enough, you just know when they lying and you know when they telling the truth.
All right. Well, we'll take some more calls when we come back. 800-585-1051. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
If y'all talking about it, you know we talking about it. It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess. If you're just joining us, I was in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and when I walked into my room, I was on FaceTime with my wife, and I noticed in the corner there was some pink panties. So I just asked my wife if she had came a couple of hours after me or the next day and seen that there, what would she think? She was like, "I trust you, I love you." She was like, "But we would have to get down to the bottom of it because that's weird. There's no way that some panties just pop up in your room. Like that just doesn't happen.
Well, they didn't clean the room properly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, all women's reaction. You heard the caller. She said exactly what I said. Well, so what was it? Magic? Like it's how do you? It's the no explanation that would bother you.
You know what we didn't ask her though? Does she have a man?
Why does that matter? Just because you don't have one now, don't mean you ain't never been through
Oh
nothing.
yeah, she said she don't wear panties. Yeah, she said she don't wear panties. You're right.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning. It's Big Lou from H-Town.
Big Lou from H-Town. So you walk in the room, man, and some panties in the room. You know what I'm saying? How would you feel about them falling out your back?
Yo, shut up, man, Louis. Go ahead, man. What would you think, Louis?
So, what would my wife think?
Yes, sir.
If she saw them, yeah, she's not going to believe that they were just already there. Or either she may think I staged them to get a reaction out of her.
Whoa.
But I got a quick question for Envy, though.
Yes, sir.
And don't lie about it, even though I know you're going to lie because we're on the radio.
I know what you about to ask, too.
You smelled them. I know you smelled them to see if they had been worn.
Louis, I did not smell them.
Oh, my God.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
I don't know what kinky stuff you were into, but I did not smell them.
I knew Louis was going to ask that.
You picked them up, though.
That was going to be the very first thing we would do to be like, yo. I wonder did one of the housekeeping chicks take these off and
Not me. I wouldn't touch them.
Now I did get a pin with my wife on FaceTime, but I wanted to see what size they were.
I'm not moving the evidence. I'm not touching it. I'm not contaminating the evidence. Okay, I don't want my DNA nowhere near those panties.
You're not as dumb as you look.
Shut up, Lauren.
Hello, who's
not
this?
as dumb as your braids look.
Hey, it's Kalisa.
Hey, Kalisa. Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
So what would you do if you went into a hotel room, you seen some panties there, you asked your man where it came from, he said, I don't know.
Well, one, I know how my husband moves and his facial expressions, but to eliminate anything, I will go to the front desk, pay 0.0001% of what P. Diddy has paid, and get the security cameras for that floor.
And you know what? And that's what I would have did. If my wife would have came and those panties would have been there, even if she believed me that she didn't, that maybe they didn't clean, I'm still proving us all wrong.
Right.
We gonna get this camera. Look who. That's me by myself. Well, look, I stopped at the vending machine. I got something to drink. I went in the room by myself. Hey, look, I went out. I can't.
We know our panty color.
Because some of us have.
So we using nude, black, cream, something that's going to actually fit. Pink, got a couple, but ain't nothing,
And she know the brand that she normally shop too.
Right?
Thank you.
Speak. How tall are you?
What does that do?
5'5".
Okay. How much you weigh?
198.
So you a size large, so you can tell by the size.
Yeah, looking at it. A thigh or ass cheek can go in it.
That's why I said speak for yourself, ma'am.
He also made this face up here too when you said your weight.
No, I didn't. I just thought.
He can say that, but one thing for sure, two things for certain. You look at me, a lot of people, I can't believe you 198 because it could be in the hips and the thighs, baby. Okay?
I'm not
so you got to know how to measure.
He know.
You got big thigh mama too. And you 198, you know the weight is in the tatas.
Let me tell you something,
you got
Queen.
big butt is in the booty.
Queen, I love a woman built like a file cabinet. You hear me?
Oh my goodness. Have a good one.
All I'm simply saying
Why
is,
would you tell that lady shit?
All I'm simply saying is, if you trust your partner, you'll believe them. But I agree with what Envy said. I would probably go get the security camera footage too, because when you have done so much work on yourself,
that's right,
and you've done so much work, in your relationship, and you just want to prove to your woman that you are really who you say you are. You want that? You're not gonna let some random panties in a hotel room mess up that?
Nope. I'm going to the camera. Let's go now. We getting this camera. Matter of fact, my wife watching it right here with us. Hello, who's this?
Yo, this is Arce.
Arce, what's up, brother? You walked into your man and found some panties somewhere, bro?
Man, what? No, bro. Look, I know this is not cap. This is the truth.
Okay.
So I flew into Vegas to meet up with a young lady who was at the Cosmopolitan, right? I can't make this up. There's no cap. I sit on the balcony, and it's super windy. If you know about the Cosmopolitan, way up high, it's super windy. Bro, I'm sitting down just chilling, waiting for us to go out. And out of nowhere, the wind blows a joint right towards my feet from the hotel next to me, from the hotel room. So I'm looking down at the joint. I'm like, wow. Then right behind the joint comes a condom packet, and it blows right next to my feet. And the first thing I'm thinking is, had I got here later and seen that right here on the balcony, I would have swore somebody got it in before I got there. So I believe the fact that, yeah, sometimes just some crazy stuff just happens, and you can't make certain things up. And this is not a cap. And I love baby braids. They look really good today. I'm watching y'all live on TikTok.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's
What baby?
All right.
The little baby over here.
Oh, shit, baby that's dressed like Santa Claus.
Oh.
Baby that's dressed like Santa Claus. Jesus Christ.
You look good, baby. Merry Christmas. No, that looks good. You look like a gift this morning, baby.
Merry Christmas is crazy.
This is insane. First of all,
You do look a
Straight
little
up.
Santa-ish now he said. Thank you, brother.
It's all love. It's all love.
The other thing I'm thinking is like these people are nasty at these hotel rooms, huh?
Yep.
Because how you miss a big pair of panties?
Well, yeah. You think you don't wipe down your hotel room when you go into it?
No, because I expect that to be their job.
They
I mean, I wipe down the toilets, but I'm not wiping down everything.
The next time y'all go to a hotel, get disinfectant wipes and wipe down, and you'll see like it's not. They move it fast. There's a lot of people.
No.
The same way you think airplanes are clean too.
Well, the reality is no. You're right, but the reality is the hotels like. You get to these hotels and you can't check in at a certain time. I like when I get to a hotel and they be like, the room isn't ready yet. Because that means that they're doing a thorough cleaning, which I would expect them to do.
Yeah, that was
you know what I mean?
But it was a major weekend, though, that weekend, right?
It was a fight weekend.
Yeah, so they probably were just overwhelmed, a lot happening.
All right, now let's get to Jess With The Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
News is real, whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies,
She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mack.
On the Breakfast Club.
She's the coach of shit.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back.
And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
So Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson are going to sit down with VP Kamala Harris and have a conversation on All the Smoke podcast.
Okay.
That's dope.
Yes, this was announced by Kayla Gardner. Kayla Gardner is a White House correspondent for Bloomberg News out of Washington, D.C. And her tweet read, VP Kamala Harris participated earlier today in a taped interview with All the Smoke, hosted by retired NBA players Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, per a campaign official. So we'll wait for that to come out. But I mean, people were criticizing her for not doing interviews, and she's doing them. I know people wanted her to kind of sit down with people that are more, I would say, like tagged to the culture and can have some real conversations with her. And it seems like she's making an effort to do that. So
yes, I can't wait to see her on All the Smoke because styles make fights, and it's easy for politicians to go in environments where they know they are going to be asked certain questions. They can prepare for those, and that's where you get a lot of scripted, rehearsed answers. Matt and Steven's approach isn't going to be like that. It's not going to be something she's used to, so it'll force her the move off script more.
Real people, real conversations type vibe.
Yeah, so make sure you subscribe to the All the Smoke podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and make sure you pre-order All the Smoke's coffee table book, which I am holding in my hand right now, which will be available everywhere you buy books October 8th. If you're a fan of the All the Smoke podcast, then you want to have this book. Look how beautiful this book is. It's got pictures in it. It's got interviews from Kobe Bryant, Lil Wayne, Magic Johnson, Allen Iverson, Will Smith, Jenny Buss. Go pre-order now.
When Kamala becomes president, they should do a special rendition of it because it'll be history. Like first black woman president, they were able to sit down with her, have a conversation. They should redo a second part of it.
When we reprint this book, because this is coming out through Black Privilege Publishing, Simon & Schuster, my book imprint. When we reprint this book, you might can put that in there. Yeah.
Can I hold some money? You got money. You got a lot going on over there, friend.
No, God is good. I am a blessing. Okay, I am blessed, and I like being a blessing.
I was about to say God blesses you to be a blessing. So let me know if you need my Cash App. Now Brett Favre,
for your hair, I definitely will. But
throw some dollars.
But Jesus told me don't bother him with trivial things.
If you want to take on that, you definitely be my guest. Yeah, you was talking out loud.
I'm sorry, never mind.
Continue on.
Heathen. Brett Favre. So Brett Favre, he sat down, and he was okay. He made a revelation that it kind of stopped the world a bit yesterday. I'd rather let him say it. He came out and talked about something that he's going through health-wise. Let's take a listen.
Sadly, I also lost an investment in a company that I believed was developing a breakthrough concussion drug I thought would help others. And I'm sure you'll understand why it's too late for me because I've recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's. This is also a cause dear to my heart. Recently, the doctor running the company pleaded guilty to taking TANF money for his own use.
So the retired NFL quarterback was at a congressional committee meeting on Tuesday, and the reason why he is even there is because a company that he made an investment in, which he talked about, is being taken to task right now because there was alleged fraud that happened, even though he's not being criminally charged with anything when it comes to welfare funds. So he's there talking about everything he's experienced with that so that there can be more protection around welfare funds. But what he's saying, because specifically the organization that he was working with, or the company he thought he was working with, was doing some sort of like testing and development when it comes to concussion treatments. And he's played like over 200 games. I think it's like 299 games.
He played for 20 years.
Yeah, so he's a big proponent of it, and of course that was near and dear to his heart. So he invested in his company thinking that they were doing good things, and then he found out things weren't what he thought that they were. And on top of all of that, he wanted people to understand that his investment and his involvement had nothing to do with scandal or anything like that. Now we know it's because he's dealt with concussions, but now he's dealing with Parkinson's. And he hasn't talked about, if he knows what led to his Parkinson's. And a lot of people to this day will tell you that research doesn't really answer that question either. But there are findings that will tell you that concussions can lead to Parkinson's
Yes,
disease.
and Brett Favre is a person who has, I remember once he said that he had thousands of concussions in his NFL career.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about, it's like I forgot what it's called, but it's like a different symptom of concussion. Like, what a concussion is, but then there's something else where you see stars and ringing.
Yes.
He said he felt that thousands of times.
Yep. Boosie, and I love how we getting through these in the third hour. Well, first of all, let me just say, sending him some love and some great energy, because that's a lot to deal with, that a medical condition that can develop. So, wishing the best for Brett Favre.
Yep. He still stole, allegedly.
And he did return.
But you so quick to give grace to the white man.
I'm quick to give grace to anybody going through a medical condition. I don't play about
just
that.
Ignore him.
I want to say though he did, because you said he stole.
I ain't say that.
You started to say that,
and I stopped myself.
He has repaid over $1 million in speaking fees funded by the welfare program, and I got to put that out there.
How much did he allegedly steal though?
You tell me.
It was millions. It was more than he gave back.
Continue.
I will.
I think it was 90 million.
Moving on to T.I. and Boosie. So T.I. and Boosie were at their kids' music video shoot, and there was a moment that was caught on camera where they stopped them to ask them about why they have to act like they have guns and different stuff in the videos, which I think is ironic coming from T.I. and Boosie, but let's take a listen.
What is it about the guns, man?
It's not illegal to have guns.
Well, in the manner in which you portraying in the lifestyle, this don't look legitimate, sir. Because I'm not supporting no whole. I'm not. Can't do it. I'm not. What kind of parent don't support their kids and they'll goddamn slide, guns bigger than you, popping it? And then got a gun in your book there. So 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand. Well, when you got drugs, it ain't legal. I know that. When y'all got drugs around those legal guns, they call it's not possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony. This ain't free. Come out of court. I can't believe this, man. What happened to some mother? I don't make no love music. You got girls out here. Why don't you talk about being in love, man?
I mean,
love that though.
Me too, because it's
they're
like
they're
being dads. They speaking from their own experience, and you can hear T.I.'s son not listening, but he ain't giving up. That's his son. You know what I mean? He ain't giving up on him.
He's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing as a father. And when you know better, you do better. And when you see people say things like, well, y'all had guns in y'all videos and this and that.
We see how it ended up.
Exactly. I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made. Okay, I did that so you don't have to go through that. That's why there was one part of the video where they said, you got drugs and you got guns. This is this type of charge and that type of charge. That's because they've been through it and they don't want their kids to go through the same thing. Duh. Dropping the clues bombs for T.I. and Boosie.
That's right. That's what they should have done as
He
parents.
said somebody grab the book bag and say, who gunned this? Who raising their hand? That's a lesson in, do you even know who's standing next to you when something go down?
And I just want to be accurate. Brett Favre still owes Mississippi over $700,000 in misspent welfare money. And I don't know why I'm just putting this together. He said that he had Parkinson's while he was testifying at the welfare fraud hearing. What a way to distract.
And
what a way to distract.
Because all of
the white man is so good.
All of the headlines was about the Parkinson and not the. I had to dig deep.
So good.
Because I was like, why is Brett Favre even because he wasn't criminal?
Testifying at the House welfare reform hearing amid the scandal, and he just got everybody talking about him and feeling sorry for him and Lauren, sending them healing energy and all of this and that.
He still has Parkinson's.
Okay, guys.
Oh, you don't even believe the Parkinson's.
Jess with the Mess with Lauren LaRosa.
Just a good way to deflect.
Happy birthday, T.I. We're going to get some T.I. joints in the mix, so don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren Rosa filling in for Jess. We got to salute Mercedes Mone, pro wrestler, for joining us this morning.
Yes, salute to Mercedes Mone, man. She's a big deal. People like Mercedes Mone. I just respect the fact that she walked away from the WWE, because people don't walk away from the WWE.
Right.
They really don't.
That's right. Well, salute to Mercedes Mone. All right. And when we come back, we got the positive notes.
Hold on. I want to tell y'all, too, man. Make sure you go register to attend my 4th annual Mental Wealth Expo happening October 12th, Saturday, October 12th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Marriott Marquis here in Times Square, New York City. We got some of the best therapists and psychiatrists and spiritual leaders that are going to be there. Dr. Alfie Breland Noble, Elliot Connie, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, Dr. Jay Barnett, Dr. Rita Walker, just to name a few. Dr. Topeka Sam will be there. Dr. Judith Joseph. Shanti Dawes will be there. Salute to the good sister Shanti Dawes, man. So make sure you're there 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tyrese will be there in conversation with the good brother Jason Wilson. My good sister Angela Rye will be there. Shaka Senko will be there. Wallow will be there. Just a whole host of people, man. It is a day of mental health and healing education. Saturday, October 12th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square, New York City. It is a free event, open to all ages. Just go to mentalwealthexpo.com for more information.
All right. When we come back, we got the positive notice, The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. Now it's time to get up out of here. Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
Yes, I do, man. And I just want to encourage you, everybody that's on their healing journey, stay on your healing journey. Heal. All right, continue to heal so you can see that attention is not love, attachment is not connection, and bare minimum is not effort.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?